This is only public data. And the truth is, they don't, right? I learned that I was in the release 24 hours before the release came out.
Because, if other lawyers are using AI, they are simply more efficient and effective than you.
You should be able to put AI in any part of the process in a law firm. And so my friend was asking me, he does startups, is there anywhere in the world it's legal to build a casino for AI agents, right?
Very nice to meet you again.
Rich.
So since last time we have talked and actually have also introduced LDH to many Chinese lawyers. Many people are very interested, especially regarding in terms of some capabilities like find all the cases worldwide. So that's really powerful. And I quote the comment of one lawyer. So this is revolutionary. He said that. And and also congratulations that Claude for Legal, has made the choice to integrate Legal Data Hunter to be part of their plug-in libraries. So first of all, could you briefly introduce your background and what led you to build the Legal Data Hunter?
And first of all, thank you so much for having me here. This is a great chance for me to talk, especially because I think the law with Chinese, there's a lot of themes that I want to talk about with you, maybe around Chinese law and what's accessible and what we can actually use to do legal reasoning. But maybe I can start a bit with Legal Data Hunter, why it exists and how it works. So the reason it exists is because, as you know, for some reason, Google and Bing have not done the best job at indexing the law. I mean, it should be right that Google should have great legal research capabilities, right? This is only public data, and the truth is they don't, right? If you do a legal research in Google, there's a lot of noise, lots of commentary, lots of websites that are not official, and so the reason why I have my suspicion why is because Google relies on websites to index their own data. So they ask. If you have a website, you have an incentive to be indexed in Google. So you will go to Google and you will index your sitemap, right? But I think that governments in general don't have this incentive to go to Google. And so they think, why Google? Why not Bing? Why not a competitor? Like they don't really have this reason to go and proactively index themselves into Google. So for this reason, legal research in the open web is not that good. Lots of missing cases. Lots of noise, lots of blogs, Wikipedia. I don't know what you think about it, but it says really just false stuff, and it's law, so you can verify that it's false. So lots of noise. The reason why I wanted to create this, and so the way Legal Data Hunter works is it's proactive. It's an autonomous legal AI agent that runs every 30 minutes, and every 30 minutes it tries to index a new source of law. Its goal is to build the world's first exhaustive omni-jurisdictional database. So the idea is that you would have a database for all the world's laws, the case law, and also the doctrine. So when we talk about doctrine, we only talk about official doctrine. Official doctrine, for example, is when a state publishes its own interpretation of tax law. This is very common. We will deem it official doctrine, or a website, official government website that it explains interpretation of the law. And so we're really trying to. Legal Data Hunter is growing quite fast. Anthropic in the blog post, I'm quite proud to say, called it the world's fastest growing legal corpus. We're adding 2 million new documents per week on average. And it's going fast because it's open source. The collection strips are open source. We get a lot of feedback from users, researchers, lawyers all over the world, and they contribute by telling basically the agent what data is missing, if there's data quality problems. The process is iterative and it's getting better over time, but it's very much a work in progress.
There are many legal tech companies and legal tech tools around, right? Legora, Harvey, many. So what problem does Legal Data Hunter solve in access to legal information? And why do current solutions not fully solve it?
Well, I think that Harvey and Legora made a bet that was a kind of counterintuitive and that really worked. They said, okay, ChatGPT, when ChatGPT came out, they said, okay, this does 70% of the work. Okay, it hallucinates. Okay, it's not perfect on legal research, but it works pretty well. You can draft a contract. And so they said, this is a distribution play. So they decided to go full-on marketing, to go for the law firms and to embed themselves in the law firms. And they thought, anything that's related to legal data, which is necessary. They thought, we'll deal with this later. And the truth is it's a huge bottleneck because now there may be in like 50, 60 countries, and to index all this data it's a big job. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that they've really succeeded in their bets because they are now I think Harvey is in like 50% of all of the top 100 law firms in the US. And I've heard prices that are crazy. Like I hear they sell licenses for $1,000 a month per lawyer. I think it varies depending on the model, but it's super. But the truth is, I think they really did a good bet. Now, what happens in the future is kind of weird. We're in a weird moment for legal AI. I don't know what you think about it, but it's seems like the model providers have stopped, because they're about to IPO, that they have stopped making their tokens cheap. So the tokens are being more and more expensive, which is why the solutions have to be more and more expensive. Yeah. And now it's much cheaper to use the tokens directly in Claude or in Codex for ChatGPT or where you pay a subscription. And so this puts the legal tech companies in a weird spot. They have they're between a rock and a hard place. So let's see how this evolves. I'm not sure that this will last. I think there's enough competition between the model providers that the legal tech companies will find a way to have reasonable prices and still have high quality outputs. But it's very much in the air. Like right now, it's a crazy time. Like all the rules are being rewritten in real time.
Yeah. Talking about legal tech, the Cloud for Legal is a big event recently, and they also choose Legal Data Hunter to be part of their plugin library. So how did that happen? So did they reach out to you? There are so many legal tech tools in the market. Why has Anthropic picked up the Legal Data Hunter?
Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure why. It came as a surprise to me. I learned that I was in the release 24 hours before the release came out.
Oh, really?
And actually, I have and so a couple of things that were really interesting that I think really speak to the way that Anthropic works, and that I think is really it shows that this is a crazy company. They're really, really competent people. So the first thing I thought was really interesting is that the legal team is very much involved and seems to have like a leadership position in building Claude for Legal. So you have actual lawyers building this out. The second thing is I believe it's the legal. So the head of the legal department, Mark Pike, had heard of the solution before, and so he was the one who recommended it to the partnership team, which if he ever sees this, thank you so much, Mark. And I think they chose it because it's ambitious. It's trying to be omni-jurisdictional. It's the only official connector right now that you can find in Claude that allows you to do legal research outside of the US. I think it was either this one or either they could have chosen Legal Data Hunter or like 50 connectors, one for each country. So I think this was just really practical for them to integrate. And I'm just very grateful that they trusted such a young project. And also, that they were also really willing to accept that the fact that this is a work in progress, that it's not perfect yet, it's going to get much better. And so this was really good. And just for the anecdotes, I think Mythos did the code review for the connector, because I know for a fact that when they did the review, they did it super fast. They did it like in a day, and they respond like they're super efficient. I got emails on Monday morning, which means like some people were working on a Sunday night. I think is really shows that they're really involved. And just the code review was so intense because they gave me like 3 days of work to do just from like a couple of hours of review, and all of it was just on point. And I was just super impressed with their way of working. They're super fast and super efficient, and also very precise. And I haven't seen them make a mistake. So I'm super impressed by this company, this team. I think they're going to do crazy. Like we haven't. Anthropic is really one of the best companies out there.
So talking about the effective, in your opinion, how can legal professionals become more effective in the AI era, especially when working with legal data and legal research tools like LDH?
I think it's just right now things are moving so fast. Tell people for sure is to be curious and to just try out everything that comes out. Like not everything, but once you see that something is having a bit of traction, try it, because there's multiple reasons I think this is really important for lawyers. The first one is that these agents, these AIs, they're coming for the intelligence layer, right? They're coming for the intelligence, and lawyers sell intelligence. So the truth is, and there's another factor. The other factor is now that you can actually code these systems. You can make these systems behave the way you want. in plain language, right? You can write in English, you can write in Mandarin, you can write in French, and the AI will obey you. So I do not think there are many people better prepared for this type of coding, of giving instructions, than lawyers, because lawyers are natural instructions writers and understanders, right? This is what we do. I think sometimes people think it's daunting because technology, my experience is like lawyers actually really love the AI. They work with it really well because supernatural. You're writing in plain text. And so I think, the cost of getting involved in these and like trying out all the tools is quite low for a lawyer. And so I really believe it's super important to just be curious and try everything out. And also, I think that if you do, you just gain so much capability that like I do not see a future that can go bad. Like you just gain so much competence once you know how to use the system. It's not that hard for a lawyer. So
okay, it's good and bad for the same time, I guess. But there is no way to go around it. You have to embrace it because if other lawyers are using AI, they are simply more efficient and effective than you. So, but without the power of AI, do you also see the limits of the technology? And what has your own experience been with AI tools for legal research?
Yeah, so I've been doing this for 3 years now. So I started in March 2023 doing legal research tools. So I started just with France, and so the results at first were quite catastrophic, even for like mainstream tools and ChatGPT. The reason they're catastrophic is not that they're 100% false, is that they're maybe 20-25% false, but it's very hard to distinguish where. So I'm talking about the older models, so like GPT 3.5 when it came out. And so the problem with this was dangerous because it's super convincing. Like the AI is really good at convincing you. So also another thing I was thinking about is that like in coding, it's quite easy to know if you're wrong, because you ask the AI to do some code, and the AI will write the code, and then either it works or you have a bug, and so you know immediately if it works or not. Law is is much riskier, because if you make a legal mistake, you will not know immediately. You will probably know in 4 years, and it's already a lawsuit. So you have this this rapport we have with risk is really not the same, because we cannot verify automatically if we are right or wrong. So we really do have to be kind of paranoid about these answers. And as you know, as lawyers, we really hate mistakes. Mistakes cost a lot of money, and they can be really expensive. So I mean, this problem of hallucinations is getting much better. I don't know what you think, but using Claude Opus of 4.8 or even the GPT 5.5 models, I see very little mistakes. Like I have this data set of exams that I use for benchmarks. And it used to be like the grades would be like, I don't know, 50, 60%. Right now, it's like 95, 96, 97% correct, which is really crazy. So I'm going to have to get better benchmarks. So yeah, so I think the reliability is getting better, although we do still have to stay paranoid, because you never know when the mistake will hit, right? And it might be the biggest one. So the way the legal data hunter works is it tries to give your AI, any AI agent that connects to it, official links every time to every cited document, and it comes with skills that tells the AI to never cite a document without finding the official link. And so IDEA, which is most legal tech companies do this, they give you the official link. And so you can just click and just check if it does say what it says. So that's for the false positive problem. So like sometimes, like it used to be that ChatGPT could invent a case, or sometimes even a law, or like it would change the word "and" to the word "or," like randomly in a sentence, and this is really bad for law. Like you cannot, you cannot get it wrong. Now you see this much less often. There still is a problem with false negatives. In law, we have a tendency to always forget a law. There's always a law you've forgotten about, right? There's always like this decree that came out. It's like you did not see, you did not think that your case could be applied from this. So this is a much harder problem to solve, because you cannot like actively verify that every link is correct and that the source says what the document says, but it's difficult to verify something that is not in the document, right? So yeah, I mean, these are the current limits. I do think they will really get better in the coming years. Like we've seen so much improvements in the last years that I cannot think, it's not reasonable for me to think it will not get better. But yeah, still be careful, obviously. As lawyers, it's our job.
So you also worked as a lawyer at a law firm, right? And can you share some practical examples how lawyers or legal teams can use AI in their daily work, and where they shall be careful about using AI? So you talk about hallucination. Anything else?
Yeah, no, sure. I think so many things like AI, these LLMs are text machines, right? And law is text. So there really is, I don't think there's any place in the law firm or the process where it's not relevant to use AI. You should be able to like put AI in any part of the process in the law firm. The question is, where do you have human validation? How good are the humans validating? Are they really checking everything thoroughly? Which might not be as trivial as we may think, because like if we're producing 10 times more contracts, that's 10 times more contracts you need to review, right?
Yeah.
So I think I mean the main things are obviously contract drafting and legal research and email drafting and summarizing and due diligence.
So
you can use it for everything. What?
Paperwork,
all the paperwork, all the paperwork. There are some things that I think are really interesting. I would love to see what happens in the coming in the coming months. One of them is I don't know if you've heard of the wiki, Andrzej Karpathy wiki. But basically, the concept is that you have this AI agent that it has read access to your whole file system, and it starts building the internal memory of your company and yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I use this personally for myself, and it's the only way I can survive, answering the emails and like keeping a active thread about everything that's happening in the company. I have not seen a good integration of this for like a large scale corporation. And I think for law firms, it's going to be even harder because we have all this confidentiality, and sometimes you need sometimes you have, even inside the law firm, you have two lawyers, they cannot know about each other's work. They call this the Chinese wall.
Is it? Is it really called Chinese wall?
Yeah, I mean, in suits in the US, they call this the Chinese wall. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is an issue if you have like big contexts for the firm, and some documents can't be shared with other people. That's going to be an issue. The way I see it going, I think, is we're going to start treating like AI agents as we're going to give them some sort of personhood, because the reason why. Because I think it's less dangerous to have an agent make mistakes on their own terms. Like if you have, you can treat, when you have an intern, you don't trust them fully. You trust them a bit, you pay them, you've interviewed them and everything, but you will not give them full access to all the documents. Sometimes their email address cannot go out of the firm, like they cannot send the attachments out of the firm. And so these are like the real world is built with securities to make sure that interns do not destroy the law firm's reputation. And so I really think that if we're going to have these autonomous AI agents in firms doing work kind of autonomously, we're going to have to give them a personality so they don't do things in the name of people, right? They do things in their own names. And so if they make a mistake, we know, it's the intern's fault, basically. Yeah. So I think this is kind of the ways I see things going in the next 6 months, like these sort of applications, starting to see like firm-wide memories. And then agents that are kind of have personhood, their own email address, their own computer, maybe their own calendar, that sort of thing. Maybe you can tell me a bit about in China how people are using it. I have a better idea in Europe. Maybe I think you guys are more advanced than we are on AI. So maybe you can tell me a bit more.
People are more open to AI than European or American, I guess. So especially when the open cloud, firstly emerged, not only the Chinese, IT coders or, tech people, they embrace the change, but also the normal citizens, as well as the companies. And I know that many enterprises in Europe or in the US, they are very concerned about the data security, personal information and so on. But in China, it's probably at the other end, at the other extreme end. So, but who knows whether it's good or bad? But I guess it is faster. It is faster here. The speed is higher. But whether this is the right direction or the wrong direction, if you are running the wrong direction with a higher speed, it's probably even worse, right? Nobody knows.
You get to know if you're wrong faster, right?
Okay, but you have to turn around.
True.
Yeah, I see. Nobody knows, I think, but it evolves faster. That's true. So maybe you can also show us how do you use legal data hunter, because legal data hunter is not quite familiar to many Chinese lawyers. I guess it's in English now. There is only English version.
Maybe you're right. I need to add some translations to the website. Maybe I'm just going to show you the website really fast, and then maybe show you what is possible to do with it. So let me show you just the website right now. So this is Legal Data Hunter website. The main page is the coverage map. So one thing is that I think that a lot of legal editors might not be doing really transparently is showing the source coverage they have. And this is a frustration for lawyers. Like often they will go to their data provider and say, I need this legal data. And this, for the legal editor, this is a project. Like they have to put a product manager on this. They have to put engineers. They have to like scope it. They have to download it. They have to index it well, and so most of the time these go unanswered, right? Or like it takes 18 months to index the data, and also they're very secretive about the source list that they have. They don't want the competition to know what sources they offer. I guess maybe they're insecure about it. I don't know. So wait, so the Legal Data Hunter, the main subject here is the legal data. So you have the full coverage map. It's fully transparent. You can click on any country. So let's look at China for a second, because China is well known for outside of China for being difficult to find the law, and this is the truth. In Legal Data Hunter, there's only, so we've got scripts for, actually we have a lot of scripts, but they haven't all run. For the National Laws Database, we have 23,000, which I hope is enough, but I don't really know about the exhaustivity, right? As lawyers, we have this requirement of exhaustivity because you always can forget something. But so I'm hoping a Chinese lawyer who knows it well will tell us if this is good enough. But for example, here for case law.
This is Supreme Court. So what is the number of rounds actually? How many laws?
If you look at France, here we're at 2,700,000 rows. So this is the biggest source in France. It's 1 million cases from the civil jurisdictions. These are the administrative courts. So also almost 1 million. Then we've got the codes, which are 200,000 laws, although this does include laws that have been abrogated. And then a bunch of different things. We have many different administrations that publish case law or doctrine or just some official guidelines. So these we all try to index them. But yeah, this is very much a work in progress. So you can see what is indexed. You can vote. So let me just show you. So there are some buttons here that are meant to be used by lawyers or experts in their jurisdictions. And so you can vote for priority indexing. So if a source has not been indexed yet, so for example, let me just go back to China because there are good examples. So for example, here, okay, this apparently we do have so here you can just vote for priority, and this will basically tell the agent like, go index this first. Also, you can report an issue. So you can say here there's broken links, the data quality is not good, we're missing data, and this is very useful for the agent who will basically pick it up in the next run or in the next couple of days or weeks, and will try to repair the scripts, and then it will try to re-index it. So we're really trying to have a tight feedback loop between the lawyers and the building of the database, so that whenever you want a new source, so for example here, you can suggest a source, you can just ask for the source and then the agent will work on it. You can also do this via MCP. So basically the main way it's used by lawyers, some developers use this inside their legal tech products. I have some law firms who are building their own internal AI agents, and so they might use more the API, but most people use the MCP. So MCP is just, it's just a standard way of communicating between an app and the LLM. And so it's really simple to install in most cases, and you can put it in any agent. So right now it's natively in Claude, but you can put it in Codex, you can put it in N8N, any agents that that supports MCP, and they all do because it's a standard now. And yeah, maybe let me show you something like what can we
maybe you can show real example of case laws, because case laws is probably the most difficult part to for many lawyers, it's very difficult to get the case laws from other countries.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, I had an example here. Let me present something else. I hope it's not too noisy around me. I have a, wait, no, I'm not. Okay, this might be a bit messy. I'm gonna have to present my screen because it's not inside of Arc, but bear with me. So this is something that I asked the Claude to output. So the question is a bit silly, but I thought this was a fun way of just showcasing the app. So a question I asked, because I have a friend who asked me, because of all this OpenClaw and the Molt book and all these autonomous AI agents who are starting to have actions and even have payments online. Or like Rent a Human. I don't know if you've seen Rent a Human, but basically it's AI agents who have credit cards and they pay humans to do things. And so my friend was asking me, he does startups, is there anywhere in the world it's legal to build a casino for AI agents, right? So we want AI agents to be able to log in, have their credit card, place bets against each other, earn money, lose money. And so basically it did a bunch of research.
Idea.
Right? Thank you. But so yeah, I would love to see it happen, but I think it's kind of hard. But it did recommend Curaçao. It does say there's a gaming authority a license with a corporate wallet. So it does recommend also on Juan sub-license. It's kind of detailed, but just to show you, to give you an idea of the quality you can expect. These are the citation standards I expect from the agent. So every statement must be backed by its own official link. These are only official links. I never accept like websites or anything. And then a lot of the work here is done by Claude coworkers.
So basically, it's zero hallucination.
I don't think you can. I don't guarantee zero hallucination. I don't think anyone serious should. Like, I think if you have someone telling you zero hallucination, they are probably lying or they don't know what they're talking about. But we're getting close. We're getting close to it. And
because all the data has its all the data has sources, right? At least if you don't believe in this, I don't know, output, then you can always find the source of the data and double check this.
Absolutely, that's absolutely the idea. So you always have the official link. So this is Germany, Switzerland, and they tell you no for Switzerland. I've got the Gambling Act in the UK. Oh, the Gambling Licensing and Adversarial Act. Please find some case law, maybe. This was not. I'm sorry, because the truth is, if I should have prepared one with case law before, but it takes a lot of time for Claude to reason. Sometimes it will think for like 15 to 20 minutes, which I'm really fine with. But maybe I have one case here.
The lawyers are also fine with the time, as long as it generates the real result.
Yeah, for sure. No, the truth is, I don't have that much case law here, which is a problem. It should have more. I don't think that, like, I think it looked for cases which similar, but it was like, this doesn't exist, AI casino for agents.
Maybe there's no cases.
Moonpay refusal. This is a regulatory decision. It's not a case law problem. But yeah, I think it was looking for cases and didn't find anything that was super relevant. But you could definitely expect more case law. Ask it to put more analogies in there. But yeah, this is kind of what you can expect, and in your own language, which is the crazy part, right? It used to be so expensive. If you wanted to do this sort of research, you would have to have 5 lawyer friends, or even more, in all the countries to do this research. So now it's possible. I really think we're going to see a real shift in how legal research is done, especially internationally, even in how we optimize, right? Like, how do you, even optimizing taxes, or we're going to be able to do so much more comparison between jurisdictions. I think it's going to have a profound impact in the way that we interact with the law. So yeah, it's exciting.
Okay. Great, thank you. So what's your plan? What's the next step of LDH? Since you are also a big name now.
I'm not sure yet, but the direction is the same. We will try to make this exhaustive. It has to be exhaustive, high quality, maybe, and up to date, obviously. It has to stay up to date always. Right now, the sources are there can be up to a 2-month gap in sources being up to date. I really want to bring this down to 2 weeks by September, and maybe less by the end of the year. We want it to be exhaustive, and we want it to integrate in many different platforms, and to have lawyers do a multi-jurisdictional research now.
Let me show you something. This is HighLegal, and talking about integrating MCP in their own agent, we are also integrating your MCP in our agent.
Nice.
And let me switch to the English version. We still have some technical. Do you see my screen?
I like your design on HighLegal.
The idea is actually behind HighLegal is to connect the Chinese companies with international lawyers. So the Chinese company, they don't need to do research on domestic laws. They need to do research on international laws in other countries. Yeah, and actually this is the HighLegal includes 2 parts or 3, so components. So one thing is the AI functionalities, and the other thing is actually the lawyer. Oh, they have already put this online. So theoretically, if I put a name here, like I can show you. This is really new. This is new today, France. And so trade control, working language, I don't know. Let me try Chinese.
I don't think
Okay,
if you find
let's
one,
see.
high legal is incredible.
Let's see what happened. So you see our developers are working very hard, and as we are talking, they already put this online. I'm not sure whether we can find any.
Let's see the demo effect. I would be super impressed if you find one. I can't think of one.
In France, who speak Mandarin and doing the trade control. I'm really curious about this result.
Are these partners of yours, the lawyers that you are trying to match?
As Vivo Data Hunter, we get all the data from worldwide.
That's awesome.
So if it works, if we have enough lawyers in the database, this would work pretty well. But so far, it seems that these lawyers, they are all our partner in the network of lawyers. So this function is new, as I said, and we need to optimize this. But so far, this is the idea, how we will match the Chinese companies with international lawyers. At least it shows the idea behind this.
I like it. I like the fact it shows you the pictures. I think it's distrust.
And actually, I'm curious about. Let me stop the sharing. Are you still practicing law or legal service? Not anymore. So you focus on your legal tech project. Okay.
Absolutely. Which is a kind of bad, because I wish I were practicing again because it would give me more direct feedback. But the truth is, I don't have the time. So I still do a bit of I teach a bit of a corporate law, like 2 hours a week. And this is like so I'll do all the work to prepare that class, and that's my legal task that I still do.
Okay, cool, good to know. Okay, thank you, Zach. I think that is today, and always very insightful discussion with you, I would say.
Thank you too, Victor.